Today, I learned about a fascinating story from the 1920s involving General Electric, GE, and an engineer named Marvin Pipkin. Back in those days, GE had a quirky tradition where they would assign newly hired engineers the seemingly impossible task of developing an inside frosted light bulb. This challenge was widely considered a joke, as experts believed it couldn't be achieved. However, in 1925, everything changed when Marvin Pipkin, a newly hired engineer, took on this seemingly impossible assignment and left his peers astonished by his success. Marvin Pipkin, when he joined GE, was given the extraordinary task of finding a way to frost the inside of electric light bulbs without weakening the glass. Unbeknownst to him, this challenge was meant to be a fool's errand, but he approached it as if it were a plausible endeavor. With determination, Pipkin devised an innovative acid etching process for the interior of the light bulb's globe. Unlike conventional methods, his process didn't deteriorate the glass and added an unexpected strength to the bulbs. Pipkin's acid etching process was a two-step technique. Initially, he etched the glass's interior with tiny crevices, a standard approach. However, what set his innovation apart was the addition of a second acid treatment. This step produced soft, rounded dimples from the initial crevices, enhancing the bulb's strength while minimally affecting light diffusion. The exterior of the bulb remained smooth, preventing dust buildup that plagued bulbs etched on the outside. This breakthrough led to the creation of the first electric light bulb with frosted insides that could be handled normally and sold to the public. The success of Pipkin's invention was solidified with patent number 1,687,510, issued to him in 1928, although it was later invalidated by the United States Supreme Court due to lack of sufficient originality. Interestingly, one key aspect of Pipkin's discovery was accidental. His practice of cleaning out experimental bulbs with a weaker acid solution inadvertently led to the discovery that a short bath in this solution after etching resulted in stronger glass with dimples that improved resilience.
Today I learned an intriguing story about Gygax, a man whose life took an unexpected turn due to a series of events. Back then, he worked as a shipping clerk at Kemper Insurance in Chicago, while also studying anthropology at the University of Chicago. He even found a job for his wife, Mary Jo, at the same company, but she was laid off after becoming pregnant with their first child. Despite the demands of work, family, education, and his involvement in political activities, Gygax had a hidden passion: war games. His fascination with these games grew so intense that it led to a curious misunderstanding. Mary Jo, expecting their second child, began to suspect that her husband was having an affair. This suspicion led her to a dimly lit basement one day, where she unexpectedly burst into the room. To her surprise, she found Gary and his friends hunched over hand-drawn maps spread across a table. This peculiar scene turned out to be a gathering of enthusiasts engrossed in their wargaming endeavors. It was a moment of revelation for Mary Jo as she realized that her husband's late-night activities were innocent and revolved around his passion for games and storytelling. This incident was a turning point in the life of Gary Gygax. Little did Mary Jo know that her unexpected intrusion into that dimly lit basement would lead to a remarkable creation. Inspired by his love for wargaming and storytelling, Gary went on to invent one of the most iconic and influential role-playing games of all time: Dungeons & Dragons. This game would eventually shape the landscape of fantasy and gaming, captivating the imaginations of countless individuals and fostering a community that continues to thrive today.
Today, I learned a remarkable story from 1825 involving the famous painter Samuel Morse. During that time, communication was far from instant, and Morse had a distressing experience that would ultimately lead to a groundbreaking invention. One day, Samuel Morse received a letter bearing grave news. His wife was sick. The distress this news caused him was immense. However, the following day, another letter arrived, delivering even more devastating news. His wife had passed away. Heartbroken and shattered, Morse felt the pain of not being there with his wife during her last moments. What happened next was a catalyst for change. 2 days after receiving the news of his wife's death, Morse made his way to where she had been, only to discover that she had already been buried. The slow and inefficient nature of communication during that time left him frustrated and angry at his inability to be informed in a timely manner. Driven by this frustration and a desire to revolutionize communication, Samuel Morse dedicated himself to finding a solution. His determination led to the creation of what we now know as the Morse code. This innovative system of dots and dashes represented letters and numbers, enabling messages to be transmitted using telegraph lines over long distances. Morse's invention marked a significant step forward in the history of communication, bridging gaps and revolutionizing the speed at which information could be shared.
Today, I learned about an intriguing incident that led to the creation of the microwave oven, a kitchen staple we often take for granted. The story starts in 1945 with Percy Spencer, a self-taught electrical engineer who had left school earlier in life. Despite lacking formal education, Percy was employed at Raytheon and would soon stumble upon a discovery that changed the culinary world. While working near a magnetron, a device used in radars, Percy noticed something peculiar. A chocolate bar in his pocket had melted. This unexpected event piqued his curiosity, prompting him to explore further. He conducted experiments including testing unpopped popcorn and realized that the magnetron's emissions could indeed cook food. This revelation inspired Percy to think creatively. He filed a patent later that year for what would become the first ever microwave oven. His ingenious design involved integrating a high-density electromagnetic field generator into an enclosed metal box. However, the initial microwave oven was a far cry from the compact, user-friendly appliances we're familiar with today. It stood at an imposing height of 5 feet 6 inches, weighed a hefty 750 pounds, and came with a substantial price tag of about $3,000. Interestingly, the early microwave ovens found their place in unconventional settings such as restaurants, railroad cars, and ocean liners due to their large size and expense. Despite their potential, these early models fell short in some regards, struggling to brown meat or crisp foods. This led to initial perceptions of the microwave oven as a commercial disappointment.
Please like and subscribe for more videos like this one. Thank you.